Long ago, in a quiet village nestled between green hills and a mighty river, there lived a young boy named Kofi. Kofi was a curious child, always asking questions, always seeking answers. But he had one big problem. Kofi never listened to his parents. His father, a fisherman, and his mother, a weaver, loved him dearly. They wanted nothing but the best for him, yet he ignored their advice, thinking they didn't understand the world he lived in. One day, Kofi wandered into the forest, chasing after a colourful butterfly. He ran and ran until the trees seemed to whisper around him. That's when he heard it, a strange rhythmic sound, like a drum calling out to him. Boom, 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 Kofi! Boom, 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 Kofi! Curious, Kofi followed the sound deeper into the forest. He found a magnificent drum, larger than any he had ever seen, sitting in a small clearing. It was beautifully carved with patterns of animals and stars. But what amazed him most was that the drum was talking. Drum's voice. Kofi, you have found me, the talking drum. I am here to teach you a lesson about listening, but beware, if you fail to listen to my words, there will be consequences. Kofi laughed. A talking drum? What could you possibly teach me? My parents try to teach me all the time, and I do just fine on my own. The drum replied, Very well, Kofi, beat me 3 times, and I will show you something you've never seen before. Excited, Kofi struck the drum 3 times. Suddenly, the forest transformed. Kofi found himself in a bustling city, surrounded by tall buildings and people rushing around. He was no longer a child, but a young man. Everything seemed strange and unfamiliar. A man approached him and said, You're late for work again. If you don't listen to instructions, you'll lose your job. Kofi, confused and overwhelmed, tried to understand what was happening, but he didn't listen to the man's instructions and soon found himself in trouble. In the blink of an eye, he was back in the forest with the talking drum. What happened? Kofi asked, bewildered. The drum replied, You saw a glimpse of your future. If you don't learn to listen, you will face hardships. Shall we try again? Kofi, determined to prove himself, struck the drum 3 times once more. This time, he found himself in a small hut, older and frail. A woman sat across from him, tears streaming down her face. You never listened to me, Kofi, she said. Now we have nothing left. The scene broke his heart. He wanted to apologize, to ask for a second chance. But before he could, he was back in the forest. Drum, why are you showing me these terrible things? Kofi cried. The drum's voice softened. Kofi, these are not set in stone. They are warnings. If you choose to listen to your parents, to your elders, to those who care for you, you can change your path. For the first time, Kofi truly understood the power of listening. He ran back home and embraced his parents, promising to heed their wisdom. From that day forward, Kofi grew into a wise and respected man. And whenever he told his story, he always ended with this lesson. A parent's words are like seeds. If you listen and nurture them, they grow into a forest of wisdom.